Hello, welcome to the Exposure Radio Studios. Come on through. We've been broadcasting for the last 2 weeks. We're on the second to last day now. Everyone's kind of a little bit hectic at the moment, but we're hoping it's all going to work out pretty well. And this is the studio. Everything's a bit kind of bad at the moment. We have a live broadcast going on, so we're going to have to be a little bit quiet. But hopefully everything will be okay. Come through. We've got the main broadcast studios just in there, and we've got our sub-studios here. We generally will broadcast out of this room, and we do the news and some pre-records from this studio here. Everything's a bit mad at the moment. We've got one more day tomorrow. We've got a couple more shows to plan late for today. I'm doing the afternoon programme with a guy called Alan Thompson from the BBC, so hopefully that's all going to go okay, and it's a little bit nerve-wracking at the moment.
Live from the University of South Wales.
This is Exposure Radio.
You're listening to Exposure Radio, brought to you by the students from the University of South Wales.
The shows are generally mixed between live broadcast and a few pre-recorded content. We start with a brunch show in the morning.
You're listening to Exposure Radio. This is Exposure
that
Brunch.
leads into a few sort of topical discussion programmes about university life, programmes on sport, music, theatre, absolutely everything, and then finishing off with our afternoon delight, which is kind of everything combined. Today I've just done my show Music Matters, which was a bit of a one-off that we did. We got a few guests into the studio, some really great guys from the music industry here in Cardiff, and it all changed really. They were only meant to be part of the show, but the talk with them was so good that we dropped a package, we dropped part of the show and just decided to stick with it and go with them and just have that discussion run for the whole half hour. It can be really stressful in the run-up to the show. You've got to kind of make sure all your content's lined up, all your guests are organised, and your scripts are there. You're working with your presenters as well. There's a lot of separate areas to kind of think of. But it's that live point, it's that point where you get in the studio and you've got your guest in front of you. And for me, the best thing is when you get talking to that guest and you get that story from them. And that's just the bit that makes it all worthwhile. Right, we're going to go and get ready and see if we can get everything set for the show with Alan.
Exposure.
Keeping you covered. Exposure Radio.
Now we are joined in the studio by Alan Thompson. Hi Alan.
How are you?
I'm great.
Is your name Luke?
I'm Luke.
How are you, Luke?
I'm good.
Good to see you.
Thank
I
you.
like your glasses.
Oh, thank you. I like
There's a touch
yours
of the
too.
John Lennon about you.
Oh, that's nice of you.
I mean the glasses.
These are, I've only had these a couple of weeks. I'm still sort of kind of getting used to being glasses.
You can't see
wearer.
through them.
No, I can see them. I describe it as now suddenly everything seems like they're in HD because I've been used to just everything being blurry.
Yeah, I've had that. It does take a while to get used to
Are
glasses.
you jealous of our glasses?
A little bit jealous.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Who's that guy over there? Who's he?
He's the guy who doesn't get glasses. This is Will.
How are you, Will?
I'm fine, thank you.
No
Alan, how are
glasses
you?
on. Well, he looks like he knows what he's doing.
I do, sort of. I used to have those kind of glasses, but they weren't sort of prescription or anything. I just wore them.
Yeah,
Oh,
just for
dear.
effect.
He was
Yeah.
one of them.
No
I was
glass
one
in
of
them.
them. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Alan, tell us a bit about what you're up to right now. We're gonna chat through the show.
Yeah.
About your career and
Sure.
what you've been doing. So we will come to a lot of it, but how would you describe what you're up to at the moment?
Well,
with BBC Wales?
I've been at BBC Radio Wales for 23 years now. That's flown by, but it is 23 years. I started there in 1991, and at the moment I do two shows at the moment, both music based. I do a Sunday show with the very original title of The Alan Thompson Show. It took us ages to come up with that. That basically is a 2-hour programme looking at the great stories in music. It's music based. We play some great tunes on there. Obviously, there's a celebrity interview once a week, and also a kind of a journalistic piece once a week, looking at the stories. If there's a Welsh angle to it, then that's even better. But there's so much musical history in Welsh culture, so we're always trying to dig around the time that, I don't know, the Beatles played at the Capitol in Cardiff, or the time the Sex Pistols played in Caerphilly. Any kind of stories like that, we focus on that. Plus a celebrity interview, quality celebrity guests, not just people plugging their books and films and stuff like that, but people who've been around a long time with something to say. And I play loads of some famous dance tunes on that, some slightly more obscure music. It's a real mixture for the real music aficionado. So that's on a Sunday night. And I'm also doing a series at the moment called I Write the Songs, in which I sit down with a songwriter, a well-known songwriter, and they tell me how they write the songs.
Exposure.
Keeping you covered. Exposure Radio.
You're listening to Exposure Radio, brought to you by the students from the University of South Wales.